lot of young people, women and youth across the country, linking them with the private sectors, how to develop their own small industry, how to develop their own small, medium enterprising business, and how to also do their sales and marketing and all that. And thereby, by the time you train one, the one employ another, train other ones, and then that is the eradication we're talking about. Because what government will do to give you the enabling laws that will enhance your vision and the capacity of your organization to be able to employ people, have a functional organization, and then help in growing the economy and sustaining development in our country. So we've done a lot with the private sector, and we're also we're still on it with our innovative projects. And we've been able to launch the innovative strengthening of smallholder farmers in Nigeria. And we have 22 participating states so far. And we're not doing it alone. We're collaborating also with the relevant ministries, of which the major ministry for agriculture is Ministry of Agriculture. We paid a visit to Honorable Minister, very amiable gentleman who is also passionate like Mr. President, and who has keyed into the vision of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari to lift Nigerians out of poverty. And you could see what he's doing. And when we took this, that this is what is coming from the African Union Secretariat, he embraced it. He's there to support us. We've been collaborating very well with his office for the implementation of this project, because it's a grassroots thing. We speak the English in Abuja, and we go to communities to implement our English. That's the meaning of it. NEPAD is using bottom-top approach. You make the law, the policies, you drive it, and then you go to the grassroots where it's needed. So we're trying to bridge that gap between the up and the small. That's the job of NEPAD. Where there is gap, you go and slot in something to make sure that you bridge the gap. Hence, the innovative strength of smallholder farmers to boost agriculture, to boost economy, to create jobs, and again, to enhance nutrition for our mothers and the young, our small children.
Yeah. We're still talking about the major interest and all the successes we've had. We have to talk about the not so successful one, the one that just shortly made. What do you think stakeholders can collaborate on to make an impact?
Honestly, resource mobilization. We really need it. NEPAD is in our new mandate to mobilize resources. We don't want to depend only on federal government. Federal government can't do it alone. It's better all of us as Nigerians, both in the public and private sector, begin to understand that. Because if federal government is employing on, how many will they employ, my sister? It's horrible. How many are you going to employ? So if NEPAD is giving its place very well in Nigeria, allow us to go and fetch, support us, but give us all the enabling environment to go out. And what do we need? We need our act. We need NEPAD to constitutionally be positioned as an agency, because you're dealing with international communities, with the private sectors, where documentation, laws, and policies are very much important. We need it. We need that backing. And then we need our grants to come so that we can have our logistics, have our money to do the needful before we look at where it's coming from. And most times, this intervention project does not come in cash. They will come, even if you are bringing them in to do, for example, the innovative strength of smallholder farmers. It's a partnership program. The development partners, the private sector, the civil societies, and the public and the government. So the public sector, the private, so you see, it's a teamwork. So we're doing it together, we're mobilizing the resources, and we're implementing our projects. Yes, government will throw in their weight, but NEPAD need to be really, really put up as a public-private sector related government organization. In my adage, as onye nna ya dịrị ochi na-ejokwa agbaka ụzọ. Eti egwe and interpret that one. When your father send you go and catch up something. You will go with every force. Yes. So what we need is that power from our Father to say, I give you all you want, go. Then leave the rest for NEPAD.
That was my interview with Princess Gloria Akobundu, the National Coordinator of Outer NEPAD. And I'm sure that you Nigerians will be happy to know that the government is doing everything to make sure we live up to our sustainable goals so that every Nigerian is happy. And now here in the streets of the FCT, something caught my eye. And it actually has to do with what we're talking about next, which is waste. How do you dispose your waste? Do you know that we disposing our waste affects the environment and the climate, of course? The administration is doing a fantastic job to make sure that our waste goes to the right place. So let's learn more about what I've just told you about while I sanitize my hands and dispose of this appropriately.
Human activity creates waste from streets, residential to commercial centers. Solid waste dominates the environment, and as the rain sets in, this will lead to blockage of drainages, and the consequences are not far-fetched.
Talk of respect for environment. No, that's what they call environmental culture. That's what is being lacking in our society today. Secondly, if those who are in charge of keeping these things clean also sensitize the people to know what to do concerning taking care of the environment.
The leather bag you throw out of a moving car, where does it go? Where does it end up? I can tell you that it comes back to haunt us. It's either in form of flooding, as you see, most places get flooded because our drainages are blocked by this waste, especially plastic waste. Bacteria and all forms of diseases find this as habitats.
A visit to some locations in the FCT shows indiscriminate dumping of refuse. These unholy acts, environmentalists say, has severe impacts to the environment. Some residents say government should provide disposable bins to avoid drainages being littered.
The entire city is concessioned to about 40 contractors who on daily basis go to premises, whether commercial or residential, to pick the waste from those areas and take them straight to our dump site.
Benjamin Enwerem, a solid waste management expert with the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, says indiscriminate dumping of refuse remains a phenomenon in the FCT.
Abuja is known as a predominantly civil service city. And so when you come across individuals that are smart and innovative in their ways of making money, you have to stop, give them kudos, and of course, bring it to you, the viewers, so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about hot water. Not in the way that you think I mean, but I'm sure you'll be interested to find out about this individual.
Abubakar Mohammed is a hot water vendor who sells hot water at the public convenience at Jabi Motor Park. This tank of hot water is what he provides for his customers every day to bathe with, especially now that the Harmattan is here and the need for hot water bath is high. Abubakar says the business is lucrative and he gets patronage from both travelers and residents of the neighborhood.
And the business is very nice. Now to bath, we told him to come and use bath or that to bath. And if you need shower, then shower the inside, you just have one shower.
Tokpe Ade and Aliu Sokoto say they are regular customers to Abubakar. So how much should they buy this bucket of hot water?
15 naira. I would like to use it to bath my children so that they will know their body will do well.
They use this water bath at any time, every day. They use them bath 2 times, 3 times. Get some people where they use them 1 time.
The hot water vendor's shop is a one-stop business center as he sells soap, sponge, and body lotions to his customers to freshen up.
I'm sure you enjoyed that wonderful story. brought to you by somebody that was full of ingenuity. And let's just say that some secrets are best left in the media room. I love food. You know I love food, and I know you love food. I mean, who doesn't love food? But we are ever-growing population. We have to keep growing up with the trends and learning how we can continue being sustainable with our agriculture. Fish, which I love also, falls under this category, and how it has changed over the years and is building and exponentially being a better business idea. So here is a look at fishing. I think my...
The COVID-19 pandemic has a very, very negative impact on farmers like me, or agriculture in general. As we all know, like the kind of farming I'm doing is aquaculture, that is catfish farming. The government is trying to put a lot of policies that will cater for the sudden escalation of food price in the country, which is all as a result of this COVID-19. This government came up with a lot of incentives to encourage farmers in general, and there is quite a lot of money put in place to reach out to people, genuine farmers. I'm going to advise the government based on my experience as a farmer, as a fish farmer. In my farm, we produce about 7,000 to 10,000 tons of catfish every week. But you will be surprised, since we started this in 2017, we have not been, every week, we're able to deliver this quantity to the market. We produce this 7,000 to 10,000. Believe me, we are the kind of farmers that the government need to encourage so that others can rest. I have no access to any fund from government, and there's quite a lot of money given out to support this kind of activities. So government should not just rely on the paperwork, because most of the paperwork, it has a lot of requirements. At least I'm advising government to come up with a policy that will go and identify people and support them based on what they are doing or based on their performance, so that they can expand. For example, we produce 7,000 to 10,000 every week in this farm, but the market is demanding for about 20,000 to 25,000 every week. That is why whenever you come to the farm, you see a lot of chaos, people fighting, trying to, get some fish, because the demand is too much, but our production is limited. So, and we have a lot of potentials to expand. So this is where government policies should come in. Not just for people that are very good in theory, are very good in filling forms. They will write and put paperwork, all the requirements, but they have nothing to show on ground. So I really want to draw the attention of government, especially farmers like me, that were able to do it on their own without any support. So we're calling for government to look at our kind of farmers. We are many that we don't have the strength to go and start writing lies, writing that. We believe in reality. That is why we're able to do with only our investment. So, and we are genuine farmers that require this input. We had a lot of billions, budgeted to support agriculture. I produce chunk part of the fish that is consumed in Abuja, but my farm has no any access to any funding or any government support. So, and we are still working, we are still doing the best we can. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, we did not stop. We keep feeding our fish, to produce so that we can meet up with the demand. And thank God we are doing that. But I think the government have a good intention, but they should do more research in order to reach out to genuine farmers.
It's been such a gorgeous day out here today, and the perfect day to bring about so many good things for us to appreciate as we live in our country, Nigeria. Don't forget to think about sustainable goals. Have it at the back of your mind that we can all do better as a nation. So when you're throwing your waste, or you're in your house and you're packing it out, remember you have to dispose of it properly. And remember, sometimes you have to think outside the box to be innovative with business ideas, and you never know who might need it at the time that you have it. Let's try to build our nation, Nigeria. Let's love our neighbors, love our friends, love everything that we have to showcase as Nigerians, because we are truly a unique country. I hope you have enjoyed today's program, and I hope that, as always, we have inspired you. As always, I am Maimuna Ummi Ibrahim.
Service of the NTA.
Just take a step. Why don't you just take a step? Why don't you just take a step? Why don't you just take a step? Why don't you? Why don't you? Why don't you take a